2 glasses of soy milk a day for 1 month has enough phytoestrogens to alter a woman's menstrual cycle. Is soy bad for you? Is there some kind of soy that's safe? And pretty much what's going on with soy. Soy's in everything these days. So soy, not only does it contain inhibitors that prevent your nutrient absorption from your vitamins and your minerals, but research has said that soy can also affect your thyroid. It can affect your hormonal health, which is really my number one negative aspect with soy, is how it affects your hormone health. And hormones are needed for every reaction in the body. And one interesting thing that I've noticed is that especially if you have an iodine deficiency, which I believe most people do have iodine deficiencies, soy is even worse for your thyroid and your hormones. And the issue that we're finding out with soy is that it contains what's called phytoestrogens. And phytoestrogens are estrogen mimickers inside the body, which means the body doesn't know if that's estrogen or if it's a phytoestrogen or anything. It's basically like a phytoestrogen from soy. But the body thinks that it's estrogen. So if you're a woman, for example, and you're consuming foods that increase your estrogen levels, and you're in contact with many other compounds that can increase or mimic estrogen, like bisphenols or phthalates or any of the plastics and stuff like that, or even atrazine, glyphosate, certain types of pesticides, insecticides, it's going to increase your risk for any type of hormone-related disorder. And for men, you're going to have excess estrogen, which is not necessarily a good thing to have if you're a male. Even drinking 2 glasses of soy milk a day for 1 month has enough phytoestrogens to alter a woman's menstrual cycle. And you wonder why women are having so many situations with their menstrual cycles and pains, and men causing sterility in men. I never saw fertility clinics on every single corner when I was a kid growing up, and now you have fertility clinics practically on every single corner because we have an epidemic of infertility. And the root cause of the infertility is not only soy, but many different hormone or endocrine disrupting chemicals and toxins that we're exposing ourselves to on a regular basis. We know that soy in men actually lowers sperm count also. And soy is actually extremely dangerous for infants. It just blows my mind that the only formulas that are subsidized by the government for infants are soy formulas. Soy formulas for infants should be avoided at all costs. It's estimated that the infants that are fed exclusively soy formulas receive the equivalent of 5 birth control pills worth of estrogen every single day. That is, to me, not only shocking, but, I mean, people should go to jail for that. I mean, it's like you're giving infants the equivalent of 5 birth control pills every single day, whether they're male or female infants. I mean, that's just, we have a lot of situations going on right now in our society, and with the big agriculture and the big pharmaceutical and these big companies that are damaging and hurting our future generation and hurting us. But that's what I'm here for, is to try to fight against that every single day and try to bring the truth in healing and the truth about the root cause out to the public. And, if you know the truth and if you know the root cause, then you can do something about it. Because there's always there's always a positive situation for any negative situation. It's like, okay, table salt. Well, that's the toxin. Well, Himalayan crystal salt would be the solution. Or soy is the bad situation. But almond milk or macadamia milk or oat milk or something like that would be the solution. So, everything that I'm telling you to avoid, there's always something else that you can replace it with that's actually healthy. Like get rid of your fluoride toothpaste and replace it with a natural toothpaste, stuff like that. But one of the reasons that soy is bad is, not all soy is bad, and I'll get to that, but the general soy out there is because it blocks the uptake of essential minerals. Soy contains a compound called phytic acid. Phytic acid. They're high in phytic acid, and phytic acid is what blocks the most, well, I'm not going to say the most important, but very, very essential minerals. Calcium, magnesium, copper, iron, and zinc. And the funny thing is, well, it's not funny, but those are a lot of the minerals that most people are deficient in. Calcium, magnesium, copper, zinc, and iron. And it blocks them from being absorbed in the intestinal tract. One of the things that made soy so popular is because the government started subsidizing it. And early on in the research, the United States wanted to become the biggest producer and has become the biggest producer of soybeans on the planet. And that's why soy is practically in every single processed food, potato chips, cereal, butter replacement, packaged items. It's in supplements, it's in coatings, it's basically used for so many different things because the government subsidizes it and it's everywhere. Protein replacements, it's even in packaged tuna. So another thing that I really don't like about soy is the fact that the majority of it is genetically modified. And not only is it genetically modified, it's heavily sprayed with pesticides and herbicides. And that introduces just a massive amount of toxins and chemicals into your system that you have to deal with, and your body has to use all of its energy stores to eliminate and try to neutralize. So that's pretty much why I'm not a fan of soy. However, fermented soy products I have used, and fermented soy products can actually be extremely healthy. And that's going to be like a fermented organic soy milk, a fermented tofu, a miso, different fermented soy sauces, tempeh, and natto. And anything that's fermented, of course, that's why it can be healthy, is because the soy is fermented. And the reason why is because when you ferment soy, it produces high levels of isoflavones. Isoflavones are actually very health-giving and very health-promoting. So we actually used to use a product called Halen 951, and that was a fermented soy, and we got great results with it when we were working with helping people naturally address symptoms of disease as well as different diseases. When you look at natto, which is probably one of the most effective forms of fermented soy, that's the one that is consumed the most in Okinawa, Japan. And that's originally when they started looking at soy, and before they brought it to the United States, they looked at Okinawa, Japan. They found out that people were living over 100 years. So they said, oh, well, what are they doing? Well, they're eating a bunch of soy. That's why they're living to be 100 years old. Let's bring it to the United States and let's cultivate it and let's, do all this stuff. And then maybe everybody in the United States will live to 100 years. But that really wasn't why the Japanese people were living to over 100. They were eating a lot of natto, which was fermented soy. And it's loaded with probiotics. It's not genetically modified, and it's super high in vitamin K2. And K2 is another ingredient that we are missing today and we are deficient in. So fermented natto or fermented soy can be okay. So if you have any additional questions regarding is soy good for you or is soy bad for you, please leave comments below. Any additional tips, maybe some recipes that you've done on fermenting different types of soy, be happy to look at those, be happy to review those, and any additional information that you need or that you'd want. We will also post some article links on the dangers of soy or just general information on soy.